Once upon a time, there was a kind and helpful little girl called Little Red Riding Hood. Give us a smile. She lived in the edge of the forest in a cottage with her mummy. One morning, Little Red Riding Hood's mother asked her for help.
Little Red Riding Hood, your grandma isn't feeling very well. Please, will you bring her a basket of food?
Will you take her a basket of food, Little Red Riding Hood? Right.
Here's a banana and an apple, Little Red Riding Hood. So thanks.
Soon the basket was packed and Little Red Riding Hood was ready to go.
Okay, now shut up the basket, my dear. It's hard to close it. Shut it, Little Red Riding Hood.
No, it's all right. As Little Red Riding Hood was leaving, her mother gave her a warning.
Beware of the big bad wolf. And then you say thank you, Mummy. Thank you, Mummy.
And Little Red Riding Hood went on her way. Bye-bye, Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood went on her way. Little Red Riding Hood had not gone very far before the big bad wolf appeared.
Hello, little girl. Where are you going? I'm going to my grandma's.
What are you taking your grandma?
Apple
What are you taking?
and a banana. Oh, and I see them in this bag.
Okay, off you go. Little Red Riding Hood soon came to a clearing in the forest filled with lovely flowers. She knew that her grandma would love flowers and she popped them in a basket and carried on her way. Yeah. Little Red Riding Hood skipped off through the trees and before too long she came to a big oak tree. What'd you say?
She likes it.
Oh, look, what lovely pine cones, said Little Red Riding Hood. I'll put those in my pocket. I never know when they might come in handy. Off you go, Jack. With flowers and acorns in her basket, Little Red Riding Hood carried on her way to see her grandma. Little Red Riding Hood wandered along and by she came across a bear with a huge jar of honey.
Will you help me fill my jars up with honey? If you do, you can have one. Don't, please. Yes.
Yes. So Little Red Riding Hood stopped to help the bear. Then,
here you are. Here's your jar.
Okay, then, with flowers and acorns and honey in her basket, Little Red Riding Hood skipped off through the trees.
But where are the flowers?
In next to no time, Little Red Riding Hood arrived at her grandma's house.
I come to see my grandma. Grandma, are you here? I'm in bed, my dear.
Little Red Riding Hood went over to the bed with a curious look on her face.
Well, what big ears you have. All the better to hear you with, my dear. Oh, Grandma, what big eyes you have. All the pleasure to see you with, my dear. Oh, Grandma, what big teeth you have. All the pleasure to eat you with, my dear.
Oh, The big bad wolf had been disguised as Grandma all along. With that, the wolf jumped out of the bed and chased Little Red Riding Hood round the room.
Jack, you have to run and I'm chasing you around the room. Little Red Riding Hood. I'm going to eat her.
Quickly, Little Red Riding Hood reached into her basket and she took out the flowers and waved them under the wolf's nose.
Achoo, 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 achoo.
Sneeze, sneeze, sneeze. The wolf sneezed, but that didn't stop him for long. So Little Red Riding Hood reached into her basket again and pulled the acorns and threw them on the floor. The wolf skipped and skidded and skated over the floor, but that didn't stop him either. So the Little Red Riding Hood reached into her basket for the very last time and she took out a jar of honey and threw it all over the big bad wolf.
Yuck, I'm covered in sticky honey. Just wait until the what's it, but comes next.
The sticky honey smelled so delicious that a swarm of bees flew in through the window and chased the wolf out the door. The big bad wolf ran down the road and he was never, ever, ever seen again. As soon as the big bad wolf was gone, Little Red Riding Hood unlocked the cupboard.
Little Red Riding Hood, you saved me!
And out jumped Grandma! Little Red Riding Hood laid out the delicious food from her basket, and she and her grandma had a wonderful feast, and they both lived happily ever after.
Happy birthday, Mummy!
Go.
Happy birthday, Mummy! Little Red Riding Hood and the big bad wolf.